We have Spriggans, Exo Sisters, and even Darklords. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Yes, I know. I see the fire barrier statue. This is not the only Spriggans list that I've seen come across, so you don't have to freak out about seeing that. This deck is able to do some other cool things now because you have a lot of kits. Having kit extend into kit, I think, is a very excellent option, and you also got a new rank 4, which really helped this deck out. Also, you know, the Tally-Ho Spriggans package was already a very, very strong thing that this deck could have access to. I am just happy to see that, you know, Spriggans actually has life now. They gave the deck some potential to fix up its problems, and that was really what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this deck become slightly more playable, and gosh darn it, Konami finally found a way to do it. Next up is Exo Sister. First of all, the fact that we are getting to play Thunder King Ryo in this deck is hilarious. But you're going with the triple of the new spell to the Exceed monster, congratulations. This deck has effectively fixed all of the problems that we had once been, you know, arguing with here. We had seen that a lot of the bits and pieces of this had been, you know, inconsistency issues, but now things have changed. Also, we can technically 7 Tachyon. We have access into a Thunder King Ryo now, which becomes a little bit more of a game changer, man. Thunder King being able to jam your opponent out and also be able to, you know, smack a special summon monster is very, very strong. We've seen the TCG kind of starting to test out, you know, a copy of Thunder King within the deck. Imagine that you can do this a lot more. Also, no extra spirit monsters. I do think that that's fine. You just want to keep your face to the ground and get it very, very consistent. Oh, we have Darklords with Melodious. So the fact that somebody managed to make a Darklord deck with the Melodious package in it, I think speaks volumes of its level of consistency. Also, you're very much going to want to make these big Darklord fusion monsters because these things are very, very broken when they are able to touch down and just disrupt the opponent. And I didn't actually think that Konami would make another set of Darklord cards, but it's made me realize that Darklords are absolutely fan favorites. This deck also, before you're like, well, Robbie, did this actually do well? It did perform out of its Yu-Gi-Oh! Day. Since all these deck lists are all Yu-Gi-Oh! Day events, to actually go, hey, we can build Melodious with, you know, Darklords. Hey, man, it's a level of consistency I wasn't expecting. We also do get to see Dogmatika. Well, first of all, having the 2 rituals in here, we're not even playing the knight, is hilarious. But you do see the 1 copy of the Thunderbolt. We don't even get to play the new promo in here because the new promo really doesn't do much to help out this deck, but instead, you know, you're going to be using Ecclesia with the Monster Reborn effect of the Fallen and the Virtuous because it's just going to be very good. Your entire game plan is, obviously, it's going to be hit the ritual on the floor and go. Being able to have access to that ritual monster, I think is very, very strong. I also see we do have 7 Tachyon in here, revealing the 102 to be able to pivot search into anything that you need. Just works out very, very nice. Yes, I know you do lock yourself, but that's fine. We're still going to be ritual summoning out the big guy and laughing at the opponent as, you know, you're going for that big extra deck rip away from them. So, you know, Albazoa is pretty cool. Oh, we have more Rokket access for you. I do see that this duelist did choose to play the Triple Crown within the main deck, which I think is probably the way you want to go. Having access to Crown as a card that I can slam on the table as a defensive option really, really, really can save you. I also can't imagine that, you know, your opponent's going to be able to break 2 Borrel monsters. You're also playing the Borrel sword down here as well for that extra monster to be able to bring out off of the extra effect of our Borrel monster. So which means your opponent's going to have to technically deal with 3 Borrel monsters. And 99% of the meta tells me that that's not going to be a real thing. You're not going to be able to deal with that many problem cards. It's too unrealistic at this point. But also, double boot sector launch is definitely a change of tech. And then we've got more branded. This build coming in at 60 cards, but you're also seeing the Draco tail package sporting off in here. From what I have seen, obviously after the limiting of Ketu, this deck has kind of suffered a little bit from its losses, but not in such a bad degree that I would consider the deck to be bad at this stage. It's just, with its current components, obviously, it does feel a wee little bit slower. Obviously, you're playing the bigger card variant, because Grash just kind of ends up being one of those cards that you're like, hey, we can tower through this and go. Also, shout out to this duelist not playing the gimmick puppet lock. I don't know why they chose not to explore that package, but I feel like they're missing out a little bit. You should be probably playing the best broken cards that your deck could want to have access to. That's just kind of my opinion, and I feel like that's important. We also do get to see, Subterror with Horus cards. Who called this up is a good idea, because this is a strange one. I guess Giant Trainer turns into extra draw power. The Galaxy stuff, I guess, provides some extra forms of interruption to get a little bit, set up. But I guess your main thing here is you want to go in the Giant Trainer to start to find other power cards here, like the Judgments, the Destructive Daruma Cannons. Even that there can only be one kind of wins you games if you do get the chance to see this. But this is already such an off-the-wall concept to be returning back to. But, once again, these are all Yu-Gi-Oh! Day deck lists. These are going to be smaller locals looking to fire through these events and try to have the best scenarios actually coming out doing well. So that's kind of something to think about here. And then our next list here is branded. Well, first of all, the fact we got double Uber, double Blazing Cartesia, I do see that we are playing Tragedy in here. It's a real tragedy to actually see that come back. We also have one of the mini Sword Soul monsters getting a chance to actually make do. This kind of looks like they took the structure deck with an Albion and said, let's try to combine this together and see if we can make the best of a deck. I see we're also playing one fusion duplication in the main deck. They're only playing one branded fusion in this, which does feel a little bit weird. I think it might be more restrictive over there. I'm not too sure, but we do have one copy of the Fallen and the Virtuous too, kind of as a callback if we need to get access to it. Getting the free dump is pretty good. You've also got the Ecclesia in here anyway, so it's not like, you can't just get a Monster Reborn set up off of that and go. Yeah, this deck feels very, very interesting. Next up here, we have Punk Centurion with Ryuji. Hold up, who are you people, and why are you combining all of these different packages together? And how is it working out? So, Punk, you have the Centurion stuff, Ryuji. So the Ryuji, you're just going with the majority of the spell cards, which I think is fine for the one-ups. This is just a giant combination cluster pile of how many big times can I abuse this Crimson Dragon while, accessing things like Varudras around the side as an extra boss monster to kind of step at. I also do see that we can make the fusions or the Synchro Zark in here as well. God, man. The fact that we can mode change a Zark into a Zark off of the level 12 because, we're playing Pendulums of all things is not a pile that I thought would be working out here, but looks like somebody's got the right idea for this. And then our last deck list here is 60 card Grass with 51 trap cards. Holy crap, man. The fact that, we get to see the Necro Slime here working, but all this deck is doing is it's just turning the Paleozoic cards into, crazy potential cleanup problems that the opponent's going to have to deal with. I really wish that we could have something like this where we could have triple reasoning to abuse and get this level of milling. But if I have to deal with like 30 interactions out of the graveyard, it's going to be a terrible time for anybody involved. But What do you guys think about all these interesting lists? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back. You learn day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.